Hi, I'm Daniel and welcome to askreddit. What's the dumbest injury you've sustained from a seemingly harmless act or scenario? Punched myself in the testicles while fluffing pillows. I witnessed a guy I was working with get stung on the upper leg by a wasp. He slapped the wasp with his hand to kill it. He was holding a hammer in that hand and perfectly hit himself in the nuts with the hammer. Pinched 3 nerves in my neck by looking to the left, trying to get dressed one morning. I took an hour nap and must have slept a little too enthusiastically because I woke up with a crick in my neck so bad I couldn't look left without extreme pain for a couple weeks. I have a relatively massive scar on my right hand from trying to open a spaghetti-esque can while shit-faced. I was jogging with my dog and zoned out and then tripped over my dog and broke my hand. Cut my hand open on the lid of a ravioli can while trying to open it. Had to get 7 stitches. Don't fuck with Chef Boyardee, he'll cut your ass. Had my rib broken receiving a hug. Shattered my tailbone in a human-sized hamster ball years ago. Still gives me discomfort to this day. Broke my foot in 2 places tripping over an ottoman. I cut my tongue on chocolate. I had just finished pooping. I reached across my body to grab TP. Boom. Back is out. I had to get my girlfriend at the time to save me, including wiping my ass. I was bedridden for days. I mocked my buddies for stretching before a kickball game and partially tore my quad on my first at bat. Awakened by the sound of my kid vomiting in the middle of the night, I sprinted to help and broke my toe on the edge of the bed. I tripped in a puddle of my dog's piss and shattered every bone in my hand and wrist. Pretty sure I broke a bone in my foot by dropping a mattress on it. I was drunk and mad at my husband for not moving it earlier. I showed him. I have a cyst and tendonitis in my left knee from running full speed into a picnic table trying to catch a frisbee in college. I sneezed and put my back out. I was off work for 2 days until I sneezed again and the jolt put it back in. Minor soreness for a couple days after that. Broke my ankle arguing over a Judge Judy verdict. I fell while going down the ladder of my lofted bed in college. I cut my lip on celery. I have skills, undesirable skills. Snowball fight led to me getting a black eye after my sister accidentally threw a ball of frozen horse poop. I tried impersonating a dolphin. Sprained my shoulder for 2 weeks. Severed a tendon in my hand while opening a pistachio. I've never been very athletic. I kicked a ball in my living room, missed, fell, and broke my arm. Dislocated my shoulder when I flopped into bed once. Another time, I tore something in my back when I bent to pick up a piece of plastic. Yesterday at work, I was tightening a caliper slide bolt on a car and managed to punch myself right in the jaw. When I was 4 years old my father had bunnies and one of the bunnies scratched my leg and it left me like a 3-inch scar on my leg. So I'm scared of bunnies now. I walked home carrying a pizza box, slipped on ice, and fell 2 times and strained my thumb. Both times I took my weight with the left hand since I guarded my pizza box with the right one. I was a bit drunk, so it didn't hurt that much, but in the morning my thumb was blue and violet, and I still can't twist it without pain after 4 years. Pizza was fine though, it would have been devastating to fall on it. I sprained my big toe 10 minutes into my bar mitzvah party while I was running. Yes, a lot of Jews don't do the whole athletic thing very well. I have one. I was still a kid, so this dumb idea sounded really good in my head. I had just gotten an RC car for my birthday I think and went down to the apartment building's parking lot to play with it. I have it running in circles and I have this idea to have it chase me. It'll be fun. So I start running around and have the car chase me while looking back every now and then to check if the car is indeed behind me. During one of these auspicious moments of looking back, while running forward at full speed I was running at a column. As I turned my head to face forwards again I slammed face first into the column. I believe I needed 20 stitches, with no anesthesia to boot. I broke my femur trying to suck my own pee-pee when I was younger. That is probably the most stupid thing I've done and ever heard of. Pretending to ski in my bathroom, tore my ACL. I have a scar on my forehead from pulling a sock off too violently. I broke my foot while playing Simon Says. One of the things I had to do at my old job was to stalk the ice cream freezers. In our store specifically, we kept a bunch of ice and ice cream in the same freezer where the ice cream doors were at. Well, while stocking the shelves I slipped on a small patch of ice and slammed my head on a knife cut, giving me my 6th concussion and sending me to the hospital. I fell from the couch and broke my arm. Not me, but my GF broke a tooth while eating hummus on a toast and also on a potato chip. Was jumping on my trampoline with a friend when I was around 7 or 8. Out of nowhere I turn almost completely horizontal and I'm flying out the side of my trampoline. I even had the net, landed headfirst on concrete and had a scab next to my eye for a little while. I'm not sure how nothing broke. Okay, not really harmless, but I front flipped on trampoline and dislocated my elbow midair. My so and I were renting a house about 10 years ago. It came time to buy our own place and move out of the rental. I was doing a perimeter check of the property to make sure the yard looked good and all that jazz when I tripped on the edge of a concrete walkway and fell flat on my face. I ended up with a couple of black eyes and a deviated septum. I was very grateful I didn't break any teeth. However, even though they did surgery on my nose, it has always been slightly crooked since then. After taking me to the ER and finding out I was pretty much okay, my so asked me, "Why didn't you try to catch yourself? Don't you have hands?" And the answer is hysterically and apparently not. I mean, who just facepants on a sidewalk? Just me? Okay. Sat on the toilet too long looking at Reddit. Foot went numb. Tripped on my bathmat and badly sprained my foot. Might have broke it. Took over 4 weeks to heal. My wife told me I was never tell anyone the true story because it was so pathetic. Not me, but a friend in high school. There was this dumb joke going around where one person would pretend to throw something and another would go running to catch it and trip over something while shouting, "I got it." Well, said friend tripped into a full-length glass window beside a short staircase. It shattered and he fell 2 feet into the glass. Cut to his arm and chest really bad. Luckily it wasn't any worse than that. I dislocated my knee throwing a paper plane. I again dislocated the same knee a couple of years later doing air guitar to the solo in Bohemian Rhapsody at karaoke. I was trying to open a protein bar in class. The wrapper was sticking, so I started pulling a bit harder. My finger slipped and I punched myself in the chest. So the boys and I were having a couple of drinks at my home. And I started to hype in the living room. Yes, that Fortnite dance just for the meme, broke a vase. Ended up in with 14 stitches on my foot. Had to get 4 stitches after attempting to open a jewel pod with a knife. Proceeded to tell people I was trying to cut open an avocado. I hit my face with my Wii controller, trying to play bowling. As a kid, my brother and I were play wrestling. He then decides to try and throw me over his head. Don't know the move name. And one of my baby teeth actually gets lodged into my jaw and had to be surgically removed. Later in life I found out that doing so damaged my adult tooth, which later required a very deep root canal and a crown. Was pushing a cardboard box with my wheelchair. It got caught on the metal strip they put down between 2 different types of flooring. The cardboard box didn't give, but my ankle did. Spent Christmas Eve in the ER explaining how an Amazon box broke my left ankle. Broke my right wrist by driving over the head of a push broom, causing the handle to flip up and hit my wrist. There's others, but those 2 were the most embarrassing. I tried to smell my foot but couldn't bend that far, so I brought my foot up to my face by pulling on my big toe. Foot was sweaty. Grip slipped off of big toe. Punched myself in the nose. Broke nose. The kicker was that the smell I was investigating was not coming from the aforementioned foot. I once cut myself on an orange peel. I was trying to peel the orange, you see, and it apparently fought back. Like a paper cut, only from a hardened part of the rind or something. Not only was it the dumbest, most impossible to explain thing, but it also came with, you know, citrus fruit in a cut. Injury to insult, right there. Tried to step over a laundry basket instead of move it out of my way. Tripped, fell, broke my left wrist. First bone I've broken in nearly 40 years. Kicked myself in the balls rushing to put my boxes on. Was at Monkey Joe's around age 6 and went down a slide. Took a second too long to get off the bottom and some rando baby slid down a couple seconds after me and rammed into my arm so hard it broke a bone. Fractured skull while playing miniature golf. Destroyed my back. I was sitting down for like 30 minutes, then I got up. Next thing I know I'm pissing in a bottle for 2 weeks. I was running out of school to see my dog's new haircut and tripped over my own feet and broke my wrist. Opened the microwave to nuke something and caused a can of corned beef hash to fall on my foot. It's the only time in my life I ever broke a bone.